is the August 23rd, 2017 Sustainability Board meeting.
And call the meeting to order. Here comes John. So first agenda item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. Moving on. First of all, welcome all the public for coming. Thanks for attending. Good to see everybody. With that, I'll open up. Is there any public comment on any items other than agenda items? Anything anybody would like to say or anything? Very good. Then move on to agenda item number 4, staff update on sustainability initiatives. Mr. Nick.
All right, thanks so much. It should be in the packet this time, I think, right?
I saw that you had some bullets in there. Yeah.
Good, okay. So I'm just going to read that over so that everybody in the public can hear. On Saturday, September 9th, Satellite Beach Sustainability Board will be hosting the Community Garden Ribbon Cutting event at DeSoto Park. There will be a food truck Friday and live music with a movie at the end. It will begin with speeches from selected speakers at 4 p.m., and the roles of each board member have been confirmed for the members previously, talking about what everybody would be doing at the event, and I'll go over that again in a minute. There will be a final work day on the 25th and 26th of April to finalize preparation for the event, and we'll talk about that first. That's a review of the community garden progress. So Dave was out there with me today. We're getting the irrigation system set up. The Public Works are assisting with a lot of the prep, and they've been really great so far. We're going to backfill a small retention wall with some extra fill material that they have acquired through through the city, and we're going to place 6 rain barrels horizontally with 5 above that, with a feeder rain barrel going into that. That should give us plenty of reserve water to use for the community garden. Not only will that be the one source of water, there'll be the second source of water that we talked about previously, which Public Works helped create, which was connecting to the current irrigation system on site. So community garden progress, I don't know if you guys saw, but we put the event on Facebook. Everybody see this event on Facebook? Yes, hopefully? Okay, so once you guys still like that, share that, put that out there in the world. Julie went ahead and created wonderful flyers. Thanks to Julie. We can go out there this week. I want you guys to all print out at least 10 minimum, and I'm giving you some homework to go out there in the world to your favorite places and put a stack somewhere. If you go to a restaurant that you like or you know and they want to put one in the window, that would be great too. I want to go around and be doing the same. If we can each do that, we should do enough advertising on the ground right there just with our group. So that's number 1 piece of homework for everybody. Second will be the upcoming work day. I am going to be there again on Saturday at 9, working with Public Works. It'd be nice if everybody can be there to kind of just tidy some last minute things up.
It's this Saturday?
It's this Saturday, the 26th? So yeah.
Anything on Friday?
I mean, I'll be out there.
Okay.
But it's not the same as the 26th. I would really think that Saturday should be a day that we can
Sounds good.
all get together, at least for certain parts. I mean, I'll be there for most of the day, but that would be really great. I might be there at the end of the day on Friday again too. So that's, again, to review, as you probably saw, there's going to be a food truck, music, and movie. The movie, we are making sure that we have all the correct rights so that we're legally allowed to play it. It is the second climate change movie from Al Gore, An Inconvenient Truth, the sequel. It's recently been let out into theaters, and now it will be available for us to use. We'll be one of the first people to use it other than a movie theater if we get the complete approval, which we're working on. If not, we have a backup plan where the same people that we put on the movie will talk about community gardens and stuff like that. We'll put a projector up on the eastern wall of the racquetball court, like we talked about previously. So the food truck is going to be Coastal Kitchen. The music will be Wild and Blue, and the idea is that at 4, we'll kind of have everybody start. Julie will be working the table, and Jazzy, are you gonna help her with the welcome table?
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna have all the materials printed out. I invited the IFAS Master Gardener group to come out and talk about, their program as well, because we're gonna work together with IFAS and KVB to do a lot of programs in the future. They have a wonderful rain barrel pamphlet. It'll be something that we can give out. They're gonna give us like 100 copies that we can give to people so that we don't have to recreate the wheel. This way, we can give away a rain barrel as a giveaway for someone that rides their bike the furthest, and then they can come pick it up later at City Hall or something like that. We decided today, talking with Adam, that each of the garden plots that are sold, we will have them come to City Hall to pay here. Just making it easy so we don't have to put things on the website other than directing them to come here to pay. That'll just make it really simple. They'll be filling out paperwork and agreements to make sure that they adhere to all the rules and regulations. The signage with the rules and the community garden was approved by Courtney, and that's going to be put out there, like the one at Pelican Park for the Coquina Rock, same kind of thing. Working with Dave today on the irrigation, I want to create another sign for the irrigation, basically saying what the system is and why it's important. Those will be the two main signs out there, other than the Balance for Earth. There's Dylan. Other than the Balance for Earth sign and the KVB sign and the Satellite Beach Sustainability sign that's already on, or will be on, the Shade House adjacent. And again, those two projects are going to be kind of joined. So it's a lot of the community garden stuff. I'll be speaking. Zach, you said that you'd say some words as well. Being that FIT Sister Garden is the inspiration for a lot of this, along with your son, so your son will be able to speak.
Okay, yeah.
Zach would then speak, I'll speak, and then the mayor will come out and ribbon
Like
cut.
about 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Whatever he's comfortable with.
Okay.
No pressure for him, that's fine. And Zach will talk about the GATS and the community garden, and then I'll just follow up with all the people that were involved.
Right.
That takes about 15 minutes, ribbon cutting 20 minutes, then people are welcome to kind of walk around. And again, I'm sorry I wasn't there on Wednesday to do this all with you guys, but as part of my job, I'm now taking some GIS classes to help create some more interactive maps for the city in the future. So all the things that we do, we can map and put online. That kind of brings me to number 2. So the Sustainability Board Summit idea. Have we talked about this in detail with the board?
Courtney came and talks about it.
Courtney?
Yeah, Courtney mentioned it.
Okay, so if we recall what Courtney mentioned the time before, the idea is that we want to inspire other people or cities, and to do that, we're going to want to create a summit for all these cities. So I want everyone to be very active in this. I'll be talking with Courtney and getting roles for each of you to, no? How's this going, Julie?
Someone to head it.
Someone needs to head it. That's where we're at. Thank you so much.
And it's not going to be me doing all the planning. She already told me that.
Right.
She said
Well, my understanding is
volunteers.
I thought Courtney said that this was actually something that she went to another meeting and it was brought up, and they were already planning on doing this, and we were just going to be attending along with other city sustainability members.
We might need to be a more leadership role
Okay.
than just attending. So I'm thinking we need 2 board members to kind of work together on this. So if anybody wants to volunteer as a primary and a secondary. Nobody wants to volunteer. Well, we're going to need someone to do this.
Then we need to-
How often do they meet and where?
This is just to create the summit, to work with the cities to create the summit, to implement it, to pick a day and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't exist yet. Dave Floyd, stepping up. Jazzy second? All right. All right, so we got a chair and a co-chair for that subgroup of the summit. That's perfect. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jazzy.
Further later, what-
Yeah, we'll do that
What we
further.
want you to do.
Okay.
Perfect.
That is excellent. Thank you both. Okay. Number 3, the green achievement targets. We are rolling through our GATs for the 5 years. This is fantastic. I really want to thank everybody for helping out. We need to select the next GAT. So we have the community garden, we have solar on City Hall coming down the line, we have the Dark Skies initiative that's going to be discussed in a second. But I want to put forward the idea of creating workshops be our next green achievement target. Being that we have such a nice diverse board of different special interests and different things that we all know, we can probably work together to create some workshops where I'll help lead them with you and do some prep work on them, but creating a schedule so that we can put it out into the public and the beachcasters, so that I'm thinking quarterly we'll have a workshop. Whether it's on irrigation or composting or on sustainable land practices or practices at home or whatever those specific things are going to be, we're going to need workshops for the next 20 years, but we're going to start now. So whatever you're comfortable with creating a workshop, I think we should start with creating a workshop around your comfortable focus. So I want each board member to kind of come up with the topic for a workshop, and I'll help you develop that so that we can go ahead and start putting them on a calendar.
You really want to do workshops, or Courtney's got an ambassadors meeting next Tuesday?
What
You can
about,
connect well. What about the ambassador initiative, I'll call it?
it's good. I want this to be kind of its own thing. The sustainability board should be heading this up. The ambassador thing is great. If you want to do both, that's okay. I'm not opposed to that. But this needs to be sustainability board presents workshop for the quarter of fall 2017. First topic, sustainability. January 2018 topic, and then boom, boom, boom down the line quarterly. So the residents will know that, on this month, on this week, typically there'll be a workshop. So they can kind of plan ahead and maybe even come to us, to a board meeting and say, hey, I want to talk about this topic. And we say, okay, well, we have X number of topics for the next 3-4 months. Put your idea forward, and then maybe we can design something around it if the public has enough interest. And I think that would be really great on its own. I don't want to burden Courtney with any additional things to what she's already doing. This should take off of her weight.
Where would they be hosted?
I think we do it right here. I don't see anything wrong with either here, or we can do it at the community garden. I think one of those two locations would be good. If it's outside, and it has to do with irrigation, we have a rain barrel system. If it has to do with planting, we have the shade house, and we can use our resources that way. But if it would require a PowerPoint, we'd come in here.
Okay.
Or we could do both if it was that kind of a thing where you'd loosely start here and invite people afterwards for like the hands-on portion. But this is going to be something we want to develop as the green achievement target. So if you guys are in favor of it, I would like to suggest that that's going to be our next green achievement target to focus on.
I'm in favor of it.
In favor?
Yeah.
All right. So I got 2,
Second.
3.
I'll second.
Was there a vote?
Well, you got to create a motion first. I'm not allowed to do that.
I don't know if we're voting for anything, right?
No? Okay. Consensus is good. Okay, that sounds good.
I don't think there's any shortage of topics.
Yeah,
No, I
no.
would also, I'd recommend that not only necessarily board members be lead, but
Right.
if there's,
Oh, absolutely.
That
Yeah.
has a good idea for doing, we can even advertise, that if looking for workshop ideas, if you've got a good idea, kind of thing.
I think we'll do that like at the first workshop. We'll end it with kind of, here are the next topics that we want to cover. If you want to cover another topic,
Right, let us know.
let us know. We want to keep the community involved and informed.
Exactly. Our biggest challenge is going to be to get people to come out.
Right. So in the heat of the summer, maybe more inside, whereas in,
Our beautiful did, and some of her workshops, she was,
yeah. I'm going to try to get some sponsors. So if you guys know any sponsors where we can get sponsors for these workshops, so we can give things away. Food, give food away. If we could give away, certain items that may be beneficial for that particular topic, that might relate to that topic.
A sponsoring microbrew or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I did not say these things, I am merely giving ideas. So that brings us to number 4, the dark skies application for Hightower. We were talking about the dark skies previously and getting the temporary status. Courtney had suggested Hightower Beach, so if we can get a consensus that Hightower is the one that we all agree on, being that A, it's close to the beach, 2, it doesn't really have a lot of light already, so it's the most likely location to get a dark sky certification, we can move forward with that. Can I get a consensus on everybody?
You do have a challenge.
Okay,
They're going to build something there.
so if we can get it first.
So
Yeah, that is a
probably
challenge.
the
That's a good
city
point.
needs to work with the developer to make sure that that complies with, is
Right, so
consistent
if
with
we
what's
can
going on.
get a dark sky certification temporarily before that, then we can go to them with something we're already doing. That might be more beneficial than waiting. So
It's not just dark skies, it's also dark beach for turtles.
Yes.
You go out several miles and you look to the beach,
Oh, yeah, the data
there's a
shows.
hole,
Yeah.
and that is where the turtles nest.
Yeah, the data definitely supports that. So that we have science on our side, so that's a good thing.
Is this for the provisionary?
Yeah, it's for the provisionary.
So for the provisionary, we have to kind of like show like we're starting with this and kind of moving forward, right?
That's the point, yeah.
So, I mean, I think John makes a good point that we want to make sure that we're not setting this up in a location that's not going to potentially be
Okay.
an issue.
If we have other ideas for other locations, I'm all
Well,
ears.
no, my point would be, it's a great location, but part of the initiative should be working with the developer.
Oh, yeah, I agree completely. And Jazzy, you're kind of heading up this with me on Dark Sky, so we'll go meet with them and talk with the developer once we've had the conversation with the Dark Skies Association, so that when we talk to them, we can tell them what we're already doing.
Yeah.
I
So,
would suggest the right people probably to talk to the developer to start with is the building official and/or city manager.
they are both on board.
So we also have a green achievement target to develop an internal sustainability review for all new city buildings that helps to streamline future construction and management operations and make this service available to home and business owners as well. Can we initiate that?
Yeah, you,
Kind of
See,
that-
I see that as more, how to put it, productive and appropriate. We now have FIT interns. I have a meeting with Maxwell and Lindemann on Friday with Courtney to talk about more student support.
mhm.
And this could be something that might be appropriate for them, but if you wait for 2 months, it'll be too late.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why that green achievement target is, I'm not saying that we shouldn't,
No, no,
But-
I'm all ears.
but we kind of need to get this started too, because they're getting ready to develop that whole area over there. And if we can get in early.
Very good.
Before they start making all these
And
decisions.
we could tie in the Dark Skies along with that, too, yeah.
Might be able to convince them to do some sustainable
Okay,
building practices or.
that sound reasoning to me.
I would move that we make that officially by vote the next one to pursue. There's reason to do it.
Is that our motion?
Yes.
I second it.
All right. Julie, sweet.
Did you get that, Joel?
No, you gotta remind me.
So it's green achievement target number 17.
Mhm. Who motioned is what I was getting at, sorry.
John motion.
Me motion.
Oh, and who seconded?
Second. And number 17 is what again?
Develop an internal sustainability review for all new city buildings that helps to streamline future construction and management operation and make this service available to home and business owners as well. And I used to work on that when I was at Florida Solar Energy Center.
Mhm.
And you review plans, you review site drawings with builders, and you make suggestions. And,
I like it. No, it's a great.
Well,
it's
this
a great
is
point.
perfect timing too. If
Yeah.
anybody read Florida Today, below the fold, front page,
Oh, right, yeah, I did, yeah.
eco-friendly hotel at DeSoto and A1A.
Word.
That's right, that's been getting a lot of press.
It's all, the timing is absolutely perfect.
Okay, I'm on board.
I mean, there's so many other.
That's good, though.
Yeah, that one we don't really need to work with. Maxwell's already, 20% of the average
Oh, right.
amount, zero.
Yeah, well, we can work with
Energy
them
use.
to help kind of create our internal
Yeah.
process. We can work with them to help create the process of, determining.
That's
these-
the point.
Yeah, it's really perfect. I agree completely. So we kind of discussed Dark Skies, we went back.
Need a vote.
Oh, vote, sorry.
Matt White,
No.
Paul Rosenberg,
Yes.
Jazzy Hennings,
Yes.
Dick Floyd,
Yes.
John Fergus,
Yes.
David Bigliotti,
Yes.
Eugene Matthews,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, and I'll finish up with number 5, which Dylan is here, so that's good. We can talk about the cigarette recycling program and update. We had mentioned previously that this was a program that we wanted to support, and we went ahead and followed through with it. Unfortunately, it met a hurdle of sorts, and we are now at the point that we want to kind of revisit this project and give it another push. So, Dylan, what do you need from us to help make this happen? Where are we at?
I talked with Tony and KV yesterday.
Okay.
I'm trying to coordinate how much support they'd be able to give when it comes to volunteers and the whole collection process. I know that, Courtney had expressed that we could have a storage space in the Public Works behind the City Hall. But right now I'm trying to figure out how much KVV wants to adopt the program and kind of manage the volunteer part of that.
And that's Denise, or what's her name, at KVB that does this? She usually runs the volunteer beach cleanups.
I don't know her name. I'm working with Tony right now.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Tony, and Desiree, she's the one over there.
Yeah, as soon as I figure out where they stand with it and how much they want to take on,
Okay.
we'll know how much we need to do.
Because they have the Adopt the Shore program, and if we could kind of lump this into that, that might be really nice. Other than that, I want to still kind of see what we can do with the board, with maybe reaching out to individuals that would want to be involved with the program, which would just mean that they would go to these sites, empty the bin, and then bring it to City Hall. That's like, how often do you think that is?
It really depends on where.
So you almost want a daily, really, check.
I wouldn't say daily, but yeah, it's going to be.
At least a week? Weekly? Okay, let's say weekly.
These bins are at the beach, and then they need to be
Yeah.
out here. How big are the bins?
Well, they're all
Tubes.
variable sizes. They're tubes. They're PVC pipes, so you can make them as long or as small depending on location and how many cigarettes you get.
That's true, you could make adjustments, couldn't you?
Yep.
Are they?
They're like 2 inch, right, or 4 inch? Like,
Are you talking about cigarettes?
Yeah, this is the cigarette ones we did before.
Yeah, the cigarette pipes.
Actually saying that people still smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, they do. Sadly, a lot of them. And that's the thing. I mean,
They
the
do?
reason I created this last year was
Where?
when we had that
Must be living in a-
Bell Street redevelopment. Within like 2 weeks of that, there was already covered with cigarette butts, and that was all fresh dirt when they put down those
It's just like
posts.
1 or 2 people.
That's when I really decided this is something we have to address because a lot of people are just throwing their cigarettes into the dune.
We're still aiming to recycle them, right?
Yeah, this way, the cigarette butts are actually a plastic, and so they get recycled, they get melted down, and they get turned into all kinds of different kinds of products, park benches, and
So we can put in the
You
community
name it.
garden.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dylan, that's great. I'll give a call to Tony and try to help you out. I saw him the other day, so that'll be helpful. And once the beautification board meets on the next Friday, I'll bring that up as well, because maybe they can
Are
reach
those
out.
positions filled in the beautification board?
I believe we filled 2 recently.
Okay.
But I think we're still aiming to fill some more, just to make sure that they get a quorum as well. So that's kind of the issue with them. That ends most of my information. I'll take any questions about the update, and do you guys have any updates?
I was going to say, Florida Tech has 5 of those,
Yep.
but we lost our sustainability officer. He unfortunately had to leave the university, and we're in the process of hiring a new one. So those are sitting in his locked office right now.
Well, they're not
And,
that expensive. We can create more.
But we're going to get them back out, because right now it's kind of fallen to us, the students, to push the program.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that they're hung up, but we want to make sure that they're up by the end of the semester, because we have a lot of international students where smoking is just
Yeah.
part of the culture.
Yeah, there's, Northrop Grumman has gotten on board with it. They've been giving cigarettes every 2 weeks.
Do we still have them back there?
We still have them back there.
Let me get you a trash can.
Okay, you need to give me something to store them in.
Yeah. But that's on me, that's on me.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of interest in it. A lot of local businesses are interested as well. There's a huge potential for this program, and cigarette
Really
butts are the
good.
number one litter.
Yeah,
product
I'm behind that program
today.
100%.
And it gets eaten by wildlife, leaches chemicals. There's just so many
They
things.
stink.
That we would be, and they stink as well.
What does the recycled park bench look like? Does it smell like
Regular?
cigarettes?
No, they don't. No, it's a seal. The plastic is
You wouldn't
melted
even
down,
know.
It's cleansed
Yeah.
and then it's sealed, so it's just like any other bench.
All right. So, thank you, Dylan.
Except it smells like cigarette smoke.
It smokes, just ambiently.
Nick, thanks for the report, it was good. I I'm still getting used to the format here, so as you're rolling along, I don't want to interrupt. but
No, please.
I'd like to go back to the community garden event.
Oh, yes.
And
I'm happy to.
I'd like to ask, so it seems like there's a priority to get a lot of people there. And I think that that's a great idea.
Maybe for like 100, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure playing a movie like An Inconvenient Truth 2 is the wisest decision. I think it's polarizing. I think it's,
I see
you're
that.
going to miss your opportunity to reach other people in the community. So I would maybe reconsider that.
Sorry, I missed that. What movie?
An Inconvenient Truth too.
Oh, okay.
So the idea came from within, and we are playing it at the end of this whole event. So it's not like it's something we're forcing people to watch. If they want to stay and watch it, they can. They don't have to. I'll mention it. We can always make an adjustment because I didn't say what the movie was in the pamphlet, in the flyer. So I made sure not to say anything yet because we didn't have any licensing too. Yeah, go ahead, Mindy.
I have a suggestion for an alternative.
Happy Gilmore?
I actually agree with Matt a little bit on this one, to be honest with you. Is it possible that Plastic Oceans movie, could we get something like that to play instead, like the one that we had at Standard Collective, or something that
Yeah.
probably touches a little closer to home?
What was it called?
Plastic Ocean, what was it
Who,
called?
That's the one about,
who played that one?
yeah, that's a good one.
What about
The Surf Rider
Wally?
Foundation put it out.
Wally?
Wally.
That's it. Hey, that kind of,
That's a cute one, actually.
yeah, it's relevant. You said no Surfrider?
Yeah, they played it at Standard Collective, put it on. Oh, gosh, what is
That's
the?
a little bit intense, like if we're going and saying that. this-
Yeah, but you're talking about playing an Al Gore movie, and you're in a Republican dominant county, and I'm just going to say it's just not going to be well received.
out about that.
Yeah, then that's,
With the
yeah.
Republican chair?
And it's,
Really found out.
yeah, I think Matt, I agree with Matt. I think
I'll
we are
mention
going
it
to
to the
polarize.
city
Maybe
manager.
something a little less,
Yeah.
I mean, that at
There
least
is
is
a little bit of
just,
some graphic scenes in that movie, though.
yeah, but graphic is, well, that's true for
If there's no
kids.
kids there.
Yeah,
you
that's a
make
good point.
answer where the kids are gonna see
So,
it,
so
they're gonna watch that.
there's another movie about grass and how it's like the largest.
Perfect. I'll take that one. Way better.
Oh, like on a turf grass?
Yeah. they-
Oh,
Sorry, I'm going to sit down now. I just
Green,
wanna-
green. I have that.
That would be a good one.
What's it,
And I think
good
that
for
one's
kids?
actually on Netflix and.
Not solely in green.
I don't know what the,
Yeah.
what is the name of that one?
yeah, I have that.
Makes more sense.
Okay, thank you. No, that's really good feedback. That's really good feedback, thank you. I will, yeah, go.
Can I just add something to that as the new guy? I agree with Matt and Mindy. A movie like that could be quite polarizing to a lot of people in this district, even if it doesn't follow the same pattern as the first Inconvenient Truth. I don't know what's in the second one. I don't know if anyone's even seen the
No.
second one yet. But I think just the Al Gore motif could be, the word you used, polarizing. I think it could do more damage than good, really.
And the thing is this whole idea is an awesome idea. And then all of a sudden you get the community out
Yeah.
there, and then you.
Maybe too
You're going
soon.
to tarnish it. You're going to,
gonna hit
literally
them.
going to lose everybody's interest, and people that you are getting interest in, all of a sudden see that movie, and they'll just turn their backs, walk away, and it's all for naught.
Yeah, no, that's really good feedback. I appreciate it, yeah. I will bring that back, and I will inform everybody, how that goes. But again, that was an option given to me, so I'll have to see how that plays out.
I think another argument in support of that, the study called Six Americas.
Six
There's
Americas.
6 bins of people thinking about climate change. There's the folks whose hair's on fire, that, the world's coming to an end, literally. And then at the other side, there's the folks that deny it, it's a joke, it's whatever. And then you've got in between. Where you work is in the middle, it's easier to move those folks to your side. You're never going to change the folks that are all the way at one end or the other. And the point is, you do not want to energize them and get them excited.
Another good choice. I was looking for something about community gardens. So if anybody knows a community garden movie, that would probably be the most appropriate choice. I don't know of any, other than small documentaries about people doing it
Would
themselves.
KBB know of any, is that a question to ask
Yes,
them?
yeah, that's good idea.
And another one might be the Native Plant Society.
That's a really good poll.
You know, somebody may say, yeah, we've got a movie, or we know of.
Or IFAS too, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. More good work for me to do. Good.
I think we should consider too, like, what's the purpose of the movie?
Right.
I mean, if it's to entertain children, Wally's awesome. You know, I mean, how many adults are you going to have that are going to sit down and committing to watching this? Are we expecting people to come with their children or without their children? Because that, you know.
Because it's a kid-friendly event.
Right.
And another thing is that maybe a full-length movie is more than somebody in a 20 or 30-minute,
Might be
maybe
better,
more
yeah.
crowd-friendly. So there's a whole bunch of things to think about.
Like you said, that's a good idea, loop it.
Great
That's
notes.
possible. Except it has to be dark enough to see it, so you're not going to start at 4
It just
o'clock.
has to be big enough for just about, how many people? 10 people.
Well, what do you guys want? I vote in the summer, so. Really,
10 more.
really good notes. I'll definitely get back with you guys in a week with an answer, for sure. And I'll reach out to other organizations for movie choices as well. Any other questions from the public or from board?
I got one.
Yep.
So the Coastal Kitchen, did we make sure that we're going to be using paper plates?
I will give him a call and double check, because that's definitely, we want to make sure that there's zero.
Because it is a community.
Yeah, we've already.
They're not allowed to, but I want to double check and make sure, just in case, yeah, okay.
We were going to look into the utensils too, like a
We
biodegradable.
did,
of some sort.
we did. The scope at which it would be to work with an organization of that scale that we were looking at would probably require us to go through a lengthy legal process because of the contract that they had for us in the agreement. So there wasn't enough time to, bring it to our lawyers and have that turn around.
Was that for the edible ones?
Yeah, and that was for biodegradable.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, so we're gonna look at maybe just getting some stuff for specific events. I went with Coastal Kitchen because usually they have like tacos and stuff that you don't need silverware for.
Yeah.
They probably use knives, though, plastic knives.
Yeah, again, I'll definitely get with Coastal Kitchen.
Again, if it comes to it, and if you got a supply, a source, the city may want to, if that's not part of their,
I'm sorry, John, say again?
if Coastal Kitchen's normal repertoire
Okay.
is not what you're looking for, given the time frame and stuff, you may wind up if they said, yeah, we need knives.
Oh, well, yeah, we could supply it for them.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. I agree. Eventually, I think some of the other materials will be something that we'll have, but we'll probably have to order that specific for events unless we get to the point where we're going to make a big order, and then we'll go with maybe putting out an RFP for that kind of thing, but that's a ways down the road.
Well, if somebody finds a supplier,
Right.
okay, if this isn't something, and I don't think you'll find many organizations that are using biodegradable plastics,
Two that I found, yeah.
okay, that.
Locally.
Wait, suppliers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm talking about the users,
Oh, okay.
okay? That then, if it looks like it's becoming an issue, the city might want to lay in a supply, and basically, part of the deal is, let's say Coastal Kitchen says, we don't have them, we don't use them. And say, okay, how many did you use in a night? We use 100, okay, that's one box, okay? The box cost us this much, we'll sell it to you at cost.
Well, I'll mention that.
Then you're
allowed
taking
to do
away
that.
any excuse
Yeah.
other than it costs too much.
Right, right. Okay, that's a good,
Keep Our Beautiful's litter quitter program, they have suppliers that offer discounts to businesses.
that's good. Okay. Another,
That might be a starting place.
thanks, guys.
And I got one other thing. Did we ever get approval to have beer there?
No beer.
No beer?
No, it's an alcohol-free event, kid-friendly. If we want to drink, maybe somebody that lives close would invite us over afterwards for a beverage. I'm not saying names, I'm just, spitballing.
Well, if you get some nice apple juice and open it up and leave it out for a while.
I don't know if we have that much time, but it's a good thought. It's a good thought. I think that's everything on that. If everybody's good. And then one more thing, Dylan, we are going to create a video to launch for the community garden event and try to get that out soon. We talked about that. I just want to let everybody on the board know that we are going to be putting out, like we talked about, that video to go along with the Facebook event. And
You let everyone know it's launched?
yeah, I think I started with that before you got in. Yeah, I started with that. So yeah, like and share the event and try to get there on the 26th, if possible, to help, and give out those flyers again to any of your friends, local businesses, so that we can get around 100 people there.
What was that garden thing I think we talked about last meeting, the folks ride bicycles around?
Oh, yeah, it's a really cool program. John Stone let us know about was a community garden bicycle group.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of it
Are you
was.
talking about fleet farming? Talking about fleet farming from Orlando?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Farming.
I guess the question is,
it?
Fleet farming. You know the guy
Yeah.
I'm talking about, Chris
Yeah.
Castro?
Yeah.
He's the one that's head of sustainability in Orlando. He founded that.
Oh, that's really
okay,
cool. That's a
the
great
question
program.
is,
He's going to be speaking at one of these upcoming
Awesome.
meetings.
do you want to contact and see if they'd want to have somebody here? This is perfect fit.
That's true.
Work
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, we could, Dylan, can you give me his contact, or does Courtney have it?
Yeah, I've already introduced him to
Perfect.
Courtney and
Okay.
trying to get all this.
That's a good thought. Yeah, I like that one.
What exactly is it?
So it's really, you donate your front yard to become a garden, and they have essentially a big group of people that bike through the communities and farm your yard.
Wow.
Or they've got another program where I think for a donation of $200, they will basically set up or provide you the materials to set up a raised bed in your front yards you can raise, and you have 100% of what you harvest. You have to go to their website, and they've got a couple different things like that.
More homework.
Yeah, you have to provide the water.
Soil and the energy and the seeds and the plants and the...
Yeah, I mean, it's a great concept. I'd love to have people come to my yard and garden, grow plants for me. but
So it's
I can't see that many people riding bikes around here doing that.
No, not in the summer, that's for sure.
We got it.
It's fleet farming. Fleet,
FF.
No, F.
F-L-E-E-T.
.org.
Fleet.
F-L-E-E-T.
And is it Fleet Farm or Fleet Farming?
Fleet farming.
ING.org. Okay.
Okay, next.
Maybe you can invite them to the
the next item.
library, Carl.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good, thank you. So, agenda item 6 was discuss the dark skies, but I think we covered that, right?
Are you good with that?
Were we?
All right, and we'll set up a time to get with each other to, I'll call them up, probably after the community garden, I'm thinking, because that's
Yeah.
okay.
And we're going to set up a workshop for that too, right, that somebody said?
Yeah, that'll be one of the workshops for the workshop stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and that's part of the certification with them anyways, to have workshops about it, so.
So, two birds?
Yeah.
Another point I just thought, a connection. You might want to suggest to John Stone, who's working with Maxwell on the boutique hotel, Dark Skies.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
Maxwell thought of that, and is he applying it?
Oh, okay, that's a good question.
A little bit more work and get enough.
He's
Was there a presentation? He's still got more room on his paper. Was there a presentation on dark skies and
Yes.
we had one, must have been a meeting I missed or something? Do we have a copy of that?
Maybe on YouTube.
All our meetings are recorded on
Okay,
YouTube as well.
do we know what meeting that was?
I can look into it and let you
Yeah,
know.
please do.
This meeting's being recorded?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
there's a camera right there.
Always.
Where's the camera?
Right there. You can check your posture later
That
on.
goes straight to Frank's house.
Just make sure you're behind somebody.
Frank's sitting there like, seriously?
Keep eyes.
Hi, Frank.
He's fly fishing. He's fly fishing and he's watching it at the same time.
Very good. So moving on to agenda item 7, project updates from board members. Don't know if anyone has any.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah.
So, FP&L is done with bringing power down to the ground. Pinkston Electric is done bringing, they need to install the meter on the meter by the road. This is an update, by the way, for an aeration project going on in one of our canals here in Satellite Beach. It's going to involve 8 aerators that will be going the entire length of one of our canals. And the objective is to, FIT is going to be involved with doing a study. Their study design and their hypothesis has been drafted, and what they're hoping to do is see what kind of changes occur at the bottom of the canal, in the sediment, in the muck. The company has proposed that there's going to be quite a change that will occur as it relates to nitrogen and phosphorus, as just by way of blowing bubbles, oxygen in the canal. Each diffuser, there's going to be 8 of them going down the length. Each diffuser is capable of turning 300,000 gallons of water an hour, and they're going to be blowing bubbles for a year, 24/7.
You said each one was 2 by 2, was that?
Yeah, they're 2 feet by 2 feet by, I think, about 4 inches thick. And it's a ceramic plate that is capable of having high-pressure air blowing through it, creates microbubbles, creates what they call a laminar flow in the canal, and the water will just continue to turn. FIT's study or measurements 3 weeks ago that they took, from a meter to 1.5 meters to the bottom, or if you want to say from the bottom up to 1 meter, 1.5 meters, they were getting 0 oxygen, 0 dissolved oxygen in that entire water column. They also were they were gathering a pink bacteria that seemed a bit mysterious to them. John Treffry, I had a pretty extensive conversation with him about it, and it's not as though he didn't name this bacteria. He just said it was a pink, kind of fuzzy bacteria that was in that portion of the water column as well. So he's pretty excited about getting oxygen blowing at least, and then he'll be spearheading and involved with analyzing the changes that occur on the bottom.
Are they measuring sulfur also, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about sulfur, but I haven't gone through the study design with a fine-tooth comb.
Because I would think in a reducing environment, I would think that could be getting pretty potent down there.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely blooms that are occurring daily. You go out on my dock at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're going to see strips and swirls of different colored whatever it is that's growing. Some of it looks mustardy yellow, some of it looks super brown. So FP&L has got the pole in, the power's been brought down, all the trenches are done, the equipment's installed, the diffusers, according to Eric Endicott with Allied Group, who is the aeration company, will be installing the diffusers on Friday. So I imagine you're going to flick the switch on Saturday.
Quick question, is this at all related to the one that was in Vieira? There was like a test done similar to this in Vieira on a private lake.
I don't know anything about a Vieira study.
One in Alachua.
Allied Group is actively doing a study in Apopka, and it involves 250 acres and a bunch of diffusers.
I don't think that's the one.
Yeah.
I talked with Virginia Barker, Natural Resources, like a month ago, and I'm pretty sure there's a private one running somewhere in the area.
Yeah.
But I'll have to try to.
Saltwater is a kicker, and even though we don't have a lot of flow here, the flow aspect of things is something that Allied Group is really looking forward to learning more about. So they're donating all this equipment, and they're going to be donating people to come out and maintain the diffusers are going to have to be scrubbed with wire brushes monthly or something like that.
Which canal is it going in?
So if you walk out of the poorhouse when you're done having a beer, just go straight across South Pat, and that's Island Drive, and you're looking at a fence, a pine plank fence. It's that canal. That's the end of the canal.
Okay, because the one north, there's an outfall that goes in, they would have gotten a lot of flushing during this rain event.
There's
So they
there's
picked it.
actually an
There's an
outflow
outflow.
in this canal too.
Okay, but it's just a local one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I'm talking about drains all of the woods streets from A1A west.
Is that right?
So you would have gotten a lot of flow there.
Oh, okay, yeah, is that,
Chevy Chase?
That's between,
Yeah.
Post office?
Barcelona, what's,
That's the
not
fountains, the one in
Barcelona.
the fountains.
In the fountains, what's the southern street?
Seville?
No, that's north, the other way, south.
Hmm.
Between there and Redwood, I think it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one that's across, instead of the poorhouse, if you took the northern exit from that strip mall, you'd almost, if you went across the street, you'd run into a canal. That's the one that's drains a large area. But if they're not doing it, then that's not
No,
an
they're not
issue.
doing that, and they're gonna use, Anderson Street, the canal south of Anderson, will be, the control. So they're gonna be just doing analysis, when they're doing analysis of Redwood, they're gonna be doing analysis of that one too, and you're comparing the two.
Matt?
I thought of it, are they going to look at the biota, the micro biota of this? Because it seems to me it'll probably change that quite a bit from what you're saying.
Yeah, so, again, what we need to do, and what I can make a commitment to do by next meeting, I'll go through the study a little bit, and let you know a little bit more about those details.
Would
The
they
issue-
be, would there be somebody who might want to come here and,
He did. Dr. Jeffries presented on it. Not at this meeting, but at a regular council meeting.
yeah, but I'm saying that they're farther along now. They know
For an
where they're
update,
going to do
we
it,
can,
how they're
I
going to
think,
do it.
I think inviting him for an update isn't a bad idea. You want to invite him to speak?
Well, either that or if they said, wait 2 months and we'll have preliminary data.
Right,
I'd
yeah.
rather, but if they said, we're not going to have data that's worth anything for 6 months, I
We
think
can
we'd
still
like.
schedule him for that time when he's ready, though. I think that's a good idea. I think you're
I
right.
think that'd be an interesting.
Yeah, I like that. Matt, speaking of Dr. Jeffries, he had contacted me about the need for a boat dock for his boat for some periods of time. Did he resolve that, or does he?
Oh, yeah.
He did?
Yep.
Okay, because I talked to the fire station, they
How
said they
long ago?
might be able to help. That was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was when he was doing his measurements and stuff. Yeah, I got it taken care of.
All right, sounds good, good to know. I'll follow up with him now, John, thank you.
Very good. Any other updates from board members?
Well, it's not really fit there, but maybe the best. NOAA sponsored a workshop on resilient communities yesterday in Vieira, an all-day workshop. I attended. The reason I'm bringing it up, that there was one of the morning presentations, mid-morning, was on what Satellite Beach has been doing.
Rochelle presented.
Tara McHugh did the history, and Jason Evans with Stetson talked about his project, and then Lawndale's talked about kind of, in essence, there are 3 things to sustainability: the environment, people, and economy. And we're doing okay on environment and people, but kind of have neglected economy, so that was kind of where she was pushing things. The reason I bring it up is that after that talk, not everybody, but a number of these folks extemporaneously in their presentation made reference back to Satellite Beach, what they'd heard. And at the end of the meeting, the person in charge, who was a NOAA staffer out of Maryland, out of headquarters, made a comment to the effect, and I can't quote it, but to the effect that he would like to use Satellite Beach as a case study, and we're talking national here. So I don't know where that's going to go. I gave him contact information for Courtney and said, here's the person you talk to. I've already let her know that she may. But my point is that when people are hearing about what's going on, they're
Oh, yeah, very exciting. Yeah.
You know, they like what they hear.
Well, I'll jump off of that. I'll talk to Courtney about it and follow up. We are also going to be presenting at the APA conference in Daytona with Rochelle, Courtney, myself. Zach Ossip will also be there, John Stone, and we're going to be going over a lot of those same things.
What's APA?
Planning Association Conference. And we got a nice slot where we'll do a table and we'll talk about specifically the Green Achievement Targets, the Sustainability Action Plan, how it was developed, how we got there, and where we're going with it and what we're doing.
Yeah, Rochelle did mention Zach's Gatz. Yeah.
Famous. Speaking of Zach Scats, there's one thing on my update I forgot to mention. Solar. We didn't kind of give a solar update since we're in that process. I want to make sure that I got to talk to you guys about that. The RFP is out, and we put it out previously. We then re-released it to make sure that our bidders had an opportunity to submit correctly. And we have a lot of great results. We're going to be meeting soon to talk about that as a group. And
You still scheduled for Monday and
scheduled
Wednesday?
for Monday, yep, scheduled for Monday, and then by the end of the month, we will have presentations, and then we'll have the review again.
So that isn't firm for the next Wednesday?
For what?
It is firm.
It's firm.
It is firm for, okay, I just wanted to...
So Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday, okay, yeah.
John, you'll be there for that?
I wouldn't miss it.
Good man.
You might want to let everybody else know what time, too.
Please.
Sorry, just from all the backlash that we're seeing on Facebook and everything from this hotel and with the solar, it's going to be really important what we do public, let's really post it out there so that people can come and see it. And also, we really need to make sure they understand the figures and the dollars achieved and the cost and some sort of confirmation of the lifetime of the solar panels, because there's a lot of talk out there. People don't believe that they'll last more than 10 years, or, you know, we're not going to see a return on investment, and we really have to find some way to help them understand that that's possible, that we're not just spending money, you know, to spend money. And that's just one of the things. And then the other thing, I had a quick question on were you guys all okay with this hotel being built? Did anyone bring it to you and run over it, or what is your?
Oh, on DeSoto?
Yeah.
No, they didn't come to us.
Okay.
But they did present at their meeting.
Secret at the last meeting, right?
Well, it was, because it didn't go through the Sustainability Board, it went through the B&Z.
Just came straight to council?
It went through the Building and Zoning, I think, first.
It hasn't gone to council yet.
Well, it came to us last week.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool, and I was super excited about it, and I really thought that we would get a lot more excitement over the building of it. And I guess for myself, as excited as I was very surprised at how angry people are. And I don't know if it's just as a community. Oh, yeah. That Satellite Beach post, and then Courtney shared that Florida Today put an article out about it. And I think it's a really great thing. I mean,
Well,
I think
I think this is a teachable moment,
yeah,
but somebody needs to be careful how they do it.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, at least in my mind, this isn't a tree hugger green thing.
no,
This is a green dollars thing. And I don't know. I
It's the
can
building in
cite
general,
somebody
they don't-
that has had
yeah,
a array of PV that was out in a pasture, and they're finally replacing the panels after 30 years.
yeah, no, I totally get it. I think we just need to make sure we really
way
educate.
that we educate
And we
and
also maybe talk about what's going on with this hotel boutique. And you know, I don't want to ask for you guys' support, but if you're out in the community and you are talking to people, you know, find out what their thoughts are and find out, because from a council member.
Would you want to have a table at the, I mean, I don't know if the community garden is the right event for it.
I don't know. We need to talk with Courtney not being
Okay,
here,
maybe
but
at
I
future
don't.
events, though.
Yeah.
I'd suggest you talk to Courtney.
Oh, yeah.
She's,
I will be.
next Tuesday's the ambassador meeting.
Mhm. Okay.
They may want to begin to think about wrapping, because, you know, Rochelle's talking about this economic thing and stuff, and this is, the timing's perfect. It's a economic, I mean, $6 to $8 million of tax base on 1.2 acres. And, you know, that it's not trashing the neighborhood or anything.
Well, some people
And-
seem to think it's going to. They're worried about the traffic. And what I think maybe, well, this is probably a whole other discussion for another place.
Part of
but-
it is, Part of the history here goes way back. The reason the property was bought, because
yeah.
they've got neighbors, residential neighbors, no names to be mentioned, who were very vocal.
They still are.
And at some point, one needs to say, if you don't want this, you're going to get a gas station. End of discussion. And the thing is, you just say.
Bank.
A gas station, well, no, my point is.
Those were the only biters, were gas stations.
That
and
what you're going to get.
Fast food.
They didn't want a gas station.
Yeah.
And they didn't want this, they didn't want that, and what they want is a vacant lot. Well, there's no tax base in that. And
Not when
so,
we paid as much
especially
money
at a
as we-
signalized intersection.
Well, the city bought it from Peg Legs, right? I mean,
No, it was,
It was-
somebody had accumulated both the Corinthian Apartments and Peg Legs. They demolished, and it was sitting there for sale. It was basically flipping it during the run-up in the property values.
right.
I was the one that got a realtor to go out and get a transferable contract and brought it to the CRA. And the city bought it, then they dithered and dathered because
Well, the market.
nobody knew what to do, and and then the market crashed. So this is an opportunity to recover, and $6 or $8 million is a nice chunk of tax base.
Well, not to mention, this will be the first hotel in the state of Florida that will be solar powered. And the way they're doing the arrays is there'll be 9 residential units, 25 individual hotel rooms, so it's very boutique. There's going to be a small restaurant in the bottom, and it's all underground parking, so the storm water, everything's built up to the very highest green standards. It's, each individual residence will own their own array of panels, and then the hotel will have their own. They're building it solid poured, super insulated concrete walls. I mean, like, he did everything so well. And I just was so shocked when people, I guess they just don't understand. So I'm just asking you as a stand in the community, if you're out talking, if this is something you support, try to have some conversations with people, try to
But
explain
see,
to them.
If folks are supposed to be ambassadors for the sustainability and thing, here is a
Oh, I see what
perfect
you're saying. Yep.
example
Yeah.
of what could be here. Now, we're not talking about there being a row of things like
No.
this all the way up A1A.
No way.
But it's the type of development that you can have if you work at it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it only uses 20%
Yeah.
of the energy that a normal building does. And he's got a track record. He built Odyssey, and that's the way Odyssey works.
Thank you, Mindy. That's.
Sorry,
No,
it
no,
just-
thank you. It's really
all
good
day
to bring
long,
up,
I've been
because
obsessed
it's a topic
Yeah.
of today.
But I would strongly suggest that folks not let that negative go unanswered.
On the solar note as well, we look like we're going to be bringing to council on the 9th the FPL solar canopy agreement. So that'll be something that we've been working on to increase renewable energy in the city. So just want to let you guys know about the progress of that. It should hopefully go to council on the 6th. If it gets approved, you'll be seeing some construction where we'll have shading in front of City Hall in the form of the solar canopy, which will be generating clean energy. And the same thing will be at Pelican Park, pending a CCCC permit for that area. The idea is that they want to put the same canopy structure at Pelican Park, then at events, people will have a shady spot where they can, put up tents and things of that nature that will, again, be renewable energy to offset, And then we'll also have 2 solar trees that'll go out front of City Hall that'll be generating power and be something that we can use to educate people about solar to help bring them into this idea, and another conversation starter piece for the PACE program and things like that will be, they can look at City Hall and we'll have solar on City Hall. They look at the city, we have solar in the city. They want to know more about it. Asif has met with Electric Rides and Ed, right? And he was really on board with the idea of putting solar on his building. And he may or may not use the PACE program to do that, but we are starting this movement. And I want to give you guys the update on those 3, now 4, thank you, Mindy, solar themed activities within the city. And again, if you have any questions or comments about it, please don't hesitate.
Yeah, our screen committee for the Space Coast Association of Realtors, our meeting that we just had, we actually just decided we're going to be doing a whole video and everything on PACE there, and trying to encourage and educate people on that program.
Are you going to create a video for them?
Yep.
Fantastic. Can we put that on the website, you think? Good, because I have a spot just for it. Perfect.
Well, if they're going to do that, would they also consider, let's say, assuming that it gets all the permits and things and actually gets constructed, the construction of the hotel would be a perfect example of.
Yeah, they're still, I mean, we're really in the early stages of organizing that. We literally have like 3 meetings. So it's like a brand new committee that's really trying to, I mean, you guys remember what we were in the beginning, so.
But we can give them plenty to do.
Well, we already have enough that we're trying to figure out in that circle, so we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Because the point is, like Maxwell.
Sure, yeah, I got nothing else going on, right?
He builds it for less than what
I got a whole
standard construction is. So, this is something I think realtors would be interested in, is that, green doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah, September 6th.
Yeah.
All right. Eugene, what's next?
Yes, thank you. So next on the agenda is the agenda items for the next meeting. Does anyone have any ideas for agenda items for next meeting?
I'm going to present a couple of videos. I pushed it off from this meeting to the next meeting.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, like we talked about, we want to make sure and recognize that on the agenda so folks will know about it, so we can.
Go ahead and schedule it for the next meeting.
Now, you're just vice chair, acting chair, right?
No, I'm full chair.
You're full chair.
Yeah,
you need a vice.
David's
we do
acting
that?
vice. Yeah, so we had talked about, I got with Julie earlier, I think we had talked last meeting about having a vote for a full vice chair.
Yeah.
But we'll have to maybe put that on next week's agenda, or next meeting's agenda.
Yeah.
So what kind of video is going?
On the next one?
Yeah.
At minimum, I'm going to show the mud video that was presented at the Lagoon Tax Committee last week, and then I may present a few others as well. We're going to have the community garden one done.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be at least 2 or 3 videos that I show. They're all going to be only a few minutes, so it'll be under 10 minutes.
Muck video will definitely be there, though.
Muck will 100% be there.
Well, Muck's going out Friday on Facebook.
Muck will be on Facebook long before it's presented at the next meeting now. So if you watch the city manager page, is it Friday, this Friday? Okay, so this Friday.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to make the video for the community garden.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there. He's not for the event. We can just play some of those, yeah. If we had to, Dylan, and the movie didn't go through, we could do some Balance for Earth on the
We
wall.
can just show a lot of what the city's done.
That's not a bad idea. Can we have a back pocket?
Yeah,
Let's back pocket that and kind of put that,
yeah. So we've already got a number of videos.
Yeah.
Present what the city has done.
that could be fantastic, actually. I really, that's
Like more.
yeah, that's very fitting. Very fitting. Consensus? Yes, okay. I move that we put the green achievement target number 17 on the agenda for next meeting.
Okay.
So that we can, let's make sure that we get moving on that as soon as possible. If anybody has any research they want to do between now and then, please go ahead and do, and then we can really dive into that, creating that. I'll work on that with whomever.
Either of you see
Green achievement
Dr.
target number
Lindeman
17, the one that-
tomorrow.
I see him on Monday.
Our meeting's on Friday.
I could go to his office real quick if you needed to.
Why don't you just mention what we discussed here about the possibility of getting involved with this GAT 17? So he's got that in his head when he comes
I can shoot an
in.
email too.
Okay, whatever, yeah, that's,
That's what.
we voted it in, I think partly with the idea that it sounds like a good candidate for some help. He may or may not agree. If he doesn't agree, then we'll figure some other way.
Probably agree.
You know who could really help with that one too is Larry Maxwell.
Yeah, he has been making comments. He is really busy.
Is he?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much help we're going to get, but,
I
so
could
we're going to,
probably give him a call and see.
From Solar Energy Center?
Yeah, because.
I met a woman from there the other day.
I worked in that that function.
I wanna say her name was
I forgot
Debbie.
A lot of things, but maybe, maybe they still do it at Florida Solar Energy Center, and if they do, then we could,
Yeah, no, I talked to, I want to say her name was Debbie from the Solar Florida Energy Center at the, on a workshop at the MRC, and she wanted to be involved
I still know a bunch of people there, I'll call some.
as well. Zach, John, about that, we spoke previously with Dr. Lindeman about specifically the A-frame property, right?
Right.
Creating an internship that would focus on doing exactly this for that property.
Except I talked to Courtney, and she's moving focus.
Oh, moving focus?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not doing it. Okay. Yeah, they could still design how it would go.
Courtney's already, that's the reason we're having this meeting, is Courtney just blasted projects.
Okay. No, I mean, that's great. I'll talk with Courtney about it, but I think from my mind, I'm thinking if we,
Well, regardless, he wants
Yeah.
something, some collaboration with some future projects.
this is what Lindeman was.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we have
Yeah.
like 70 minor/major sustainability people now in the
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's plenty of.
And we got, there's a number of things that we've talked about previously of different project ideas.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I was saying about this particular one is if we can get support to even just create how that would go, if there's an intern doing that, if everything she has on the board is being worked on, then we can go back and say, hey, look, if you have 70 different, potential students that could be working on something, we could still give them the, how would you design, lead
Yeah, except
building.
her focus is on the firehouse before.
Oh, so we just do it for the
A-frame.
firehouse? That's
Yes.
fine, yeah.
Yes.
Do it for the firehouse. What I'm
That's my
saying.
point.
No, that's
She's
great.
already,
That's great. I didn't know. I didn't have that conversation. I didn't know.
yeah,
That's great.
They could turn it into beautiful senior design projects.
Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty much
yeah,
fleshed
it's,
out as-
I'm just saying there may be more students.
well, the thing was, I mean, she was just rolling off projects, any one of which,
Okay. Thanks, John.
somebody that's competent, would say, yeah,
Okay,
that could be fun.
yeah. All right.
Very good. So the next agenda item is the adoption of the minutes from last meeting, July 26th.
So move?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Aye.
How's it done? Roadrunner?
Definitely a tie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Matt White,
Yeah.
Paul Rosenberg.
Yes, I guess, I mean, I haven't seen it.
I didn't put it in the packet, did I?
I hate to throw a wrench into this as the new guy. Can I just abstain?
No.
Said yes, he already said yes.
It was totally my fault. I don't think I put it in the packet at all.
I don't believe so. I
I
didn't
blanked
see it.
on that hard. Sorry. We'll adopt him next month.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Very good. Well, I did want to take a second to recognize Paul Rosenberg. He's our newest member on the board. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Good to be here.
And with that, do we have another comment?
I had a question, I'm sorry, I had a question.
Yeah, why don't you come up?
We missed you, we haven't seen you in a while.
Carol Robichek, 560 Teakwood. I had a question about the parkway, that there was some talk of building a path around the library. I didn't know what the status was of that.
Is she talking about the teaching trail?
Yeah, we didn't get approval for that program, the grant. We didn't get the funding.
Oh, you didn't,
We didn't get unfortunately, we didn't get the funding.
so it's just been set aside for a while?
Right, we're going to continue to look for funding for that project and, others. But I think that project may shift a little to the beautification board. So the idea was to create a beautification board volunteer group that we could then go out and do small things ourselves. It might go into that and then eventually go back into the next grant cycle when it comes around.
Fair enough, I just didn't know where it was.
No, that's a good question, yeah.
Do you have something? Very good.
Hi, my name is Andrea Young, West Melbourne Deputy Mayor, 728 Wyeth Street, West Melbourne. Thank you so much for letting me come here tonight. Thank you for letting me know that this meeting was tonight. Thank you very much. we don't have anything like this in West Melbourne, and I am the entire beautification committee over there. And when I heard about this, I wanted to expand on it. I spoke with Tony Sasso, and Tony said, Satellite Beach has already done it, so just go to their website and do that. So I went to their website, looked at what they have, I went to your website and was just totally blown away. Absolutely, he was correct, you have done it. What you have doesn't fit us exactly, but I'd like to be able to take little bits and pieces from it and maybe customize that so that it does fit us. But I wanted, in listening to what you had to say tonight, I wanted to let you know that on September 12th, and you may know this already, September 12th, SPL is having their solar open house for their big solar farm that they're having down by Barefoot Bay. So you meet first at the Holiday Inn Express on Malabar Road, and that's where they'll be doing their presentation on their solar farm. And then from there, they're taking us all in buses down to their solar farm and promise to have us back by, I think, an hour or so. So that's September 12th, so if any of you are interested in that. The breakfast at the Holiday Inn Express starts at 8 o'clock. And then the presentation is after that, but I'm sure you all must have gotten emails. I'm sure you must have gotten an email.
To them tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So there's that, and then I wanted to let you know that the Muscle Car Museum, right off of, behind the Walmart off of here, that's all solar as well. And so that runs very well, and it's all solar. It's really, really cool, and they have a lot of area to cover, so they're able to generate enough kilowatts of power, or whatever you call those, to power. I also want to let you know that West Melbourne, we may not be as up and coming as you are, but we have Lifestyle Homes who's building a lot of new homes in West Melbourne. We have a lot of new construction there, and they're solar. So we're very happy to see that. And I'm real interested in what you had to say. I'm interested in what you were mentioning about the canal, what you were mentioning about the canals and things, as far as what the aerators and what the cost of the city is on that and that kind of stuff. But I know that's too much for here. When I went to the website and I wanted to get this out, I agree with you on the movie, because when we started on this conversation and someone brought up the movie, I went, what have I gotten myself into? I just kind of was starting, I need to kind of like exit, but then listen further, and you're not going to get people to listen further once they see that. It's going to turn them off. So I'm glad that you brought that up. When I saw on the website, I don't know if it was your website or KBB website, but it was the straws, how harmful straws are. I had no idea. I saw that and I went, oh my gosh, I have been absolutely anti-straw person ever since then. I've been to restaurants and they've got the litter quitter, whoever program that is. I'm already asking them not to use the styrofoam. Please ask before you serve a straw. If you do serve straws, get the paper ones. Since you have the hotel coming in, you might want to ask them not to have plastic straws, to have paper straws as well, something simple like that. I had no idea the harm that causes. So you've got me out there already. So I don't want to hold up your time. I just wanted to mention that there's, solar, again. With all those carports you have, which back up to A1A, is A1A out here? Okay. FBL has solar panels that fit on top of those carports. So you've got the roof of the carport covering the car anyway. You're not doing anything, or the actual condos aren't doing anything with the roof of those carports. They could easily put a solar panel up there and generate solar energy for their condo units.
Nick, that sounds like a project for you and John Stone.
Wait, hold on.
There we go, okay.
There are some carports, right, that are already solar. So we have some examples already. Yeah, we definitely could use more.
So they're just blank sitting there waiting, please do something with me. And I think you mentioned solar trees.
So that's the FPL program?
Yep, I saw that.
And
Yes.
it's a wonderful program. The zoo was involved with it previously, and they were going to talk to the airport, but I went to the meeting and the airport didn't, so.
Okay. All right, so thank you again. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come here tonight. All right, thank you.
Very good. Well, with that, then we will adjourn. Thanks, everybody. Good meeting.
Thank you.
As always, I plan for tomorrow.